That's the one part of the country where President Trump wants the votes still to be counted, because the postal votes are mitigating in his favour there at the moment. The rest of the country, where they're mitigating in favour of Joe Biden, in those parts of the country is keen on post.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Proclamation News and Governance. It's with the prodigious, it's the prominent professor at PNG. Why get involved? You want to get involved in politics if you don't know where to start. Party politics, people politics, helping ecosystem, pollution to our environment. Talk about hydropolitics, anything. You know, you want to take a part. You want to have your voice heard. You want to get involved in environmental friendly and stop pollution to businesses, such as all kinds of business, farming, pollution of the air. You want to get involved. Don't know where to start. Well, I'll give you a bit of detail. Firstly, please subscribe, share. I want more subscribers, more followers. It's the prodigious, the prominent professor, PNG. How to get involved? Speak to one of your local constituency MPs. I'm a Conservative trainee councillor at the moment. I'm looking at all business, the sociological side of things in business. How does it interrupt in our business? Maybe their business too close to a suburban area in a stage of criminology. Anyway, as a member, if you want to become a member, you can play a key role in the party, supporting the work we're doing in government and contributing the ideas, policies and future of the party. You'll be invited to join us at party conference and to attend local and national events. And if you're just joining us, once you've been a member for 3 months, you can also take part in the party elections. To reduce our environmental impact, we are no longer issuing plastic membership cards. Please be assured that this does not impact your membership. You will never be asked to produce a card to provide your membership. Our members are our most important campaigners. Your support is enabling us to build a brighter future. It's only about, I think it's £25 a year. I think it's £2 a month. You pay over a month. You feel you like that, have a takeaway at the weekend, or have a takeaway once a week. It's nothing, is it? It's nothing at all. Or go to the pub. You know, spending money on, just cut down the activities. You want to help have your voice heard. It's very important. What your membership gets you, I mean, does it get you fish and chips? Well, what's it get you? You know, it's very important to subscribe to Proclamation News and Governance, giving you the key evidence of what's entailed of signing up with a party. I'm Conservative. I always say it's bona fide Conservative and working on progression. You can help us win elections. All of your subscription goes towards our campaigns. It gets the latest from inside the party, with regular member updates and exclusive member invites. Take part in our campaign groups like our Conservative Women's Organisation, the Young Conservatives, or Conservative Friends. Conservative Friends Group. Meet like-minded people and make a difference to our country. They influence party policy by giving feedback on policy and the briefs. Choose candidates elections so you can choose the people you want to represent you. Come to party conference and spring forum. Join our MPs, councillors and activists at the biggest events of the Conservative calendar. Connect with local Conservatives as a member. You'll become part of your local association, support local campaigns and attend social events with members just like you. So it's, you know, being part of something, it's like, you know, supporting your local football team, supporting the whole environment. Talk about supporting the government. It's being in part of something. It's very important to be part of something. You want to be something, you want to go somewhere, so you need to wake up and pay attention. Stand for election as a member. You have the opportunity to stand for election as a Conservative. So if you decide that you want to take part in our democracy, you can. This is Proclamation News and Governance with the prodigious, the prominent professor at PNG, ladies and gents. Help share and subscribe. I need more listeners. You know, I put a lot of entertainment onto my YouTube channel, singing, all kinds of entertainment, a bit of comedy. I've had a bit of comedy in the recent past. It's worth following my YouTube channel to get an insight. It's good content. It's good. I've got a lot of segments on my YouTube. You know, like an entrepreneur as such. You know, I've got singing, rapping, all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to bring a wider audience into my YouTube channel. It should be a YouTube channel with massive gatherings, but not enough subscribers. So the more subscribers, the more benefit is for me. This is a business, a small growing business. It needs to be backed by the exchequer with a big paycheck, and we get this ball rolling. This is proclamation news and gatherings with a prodigious the pomp of fest. So this has been going for over 2 years now. Media study since 1994, 95, I believe. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me the time of day. Make sure you tune in. I'm going to be following through my live content just shortly. Take care, my love, and speak soon. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you all so much listening this afternoon, ladies and gents. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's the first Friday of the month. It's the first Friday of November, ladies and gentlemen. Not long till Christmas. Not long till Christmas. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm on Castbox, Podbean, and YouTube. We're going to go flux with the news, flux with the flow, and flux with the show. Got a lot to go through today. We're going to break it up as I've been just recently trying to do a 2-hour show. I hope you all stay tuned. Got a lot of things to do during lockdown. We're all suffering slowly through mental health. We're worrying if we can go back to work. We're worrying if we can get a job. We're worrying if we can go back to normal. My life still isn't normal, but I still keep my head above water. I still keep working on progression. No matter what hurdles life throws at me, I keep trying to move forward with positivity. But I mean, some of yous have got more money than others. Some of us don't have a zero pot to urinate in, but we still keep working. We still keep smiling. We're working through the aesthetics of life. Unfortunately, not all been fed with a silver spoon, or had a bit of luck and hit gold. I have done in past life. I'm trying to build myself back up through business, studying business management, arts and humanities. Hopefully, once I come out the other end, my head above water. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping. Studying every day. This is also one of my main subjects, keeping the entertainment on radio show. Hoping this could be my plan A and it be successful. But more listeners, people, more subscribers, and I'm going to start promoting businesses as well. As you know, we're sponsored by O2 providers because they've got the best network coverage over the UK. Signal everywhere we go. I've got a couple of friends. They've got EE, and they don't find their EE network amazing. Evening, Shoaib Malik. Where are you from, Malik? Welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate anyone tuning in. If you do want to call in halfway for the show, please feel free to call it. India, globalization for the grain. As we know, India is globalization with the grain. Very one of the biggest countries that distribute the grain, as in rice, wheat, all that kind of stuff comes from India. So, when I talk about equalities, you have to realise around the globe where these things come from. Absolutely, biggest country, my friend. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad to have you on the show. If you ever want to debate anything within politics, always call in. We're going to go into today's formation. Lovely to have you on the show, Shaya. You have the greatest economy, absolutely, yes, especially with the grain and rice. Indian people very wealthy, and they're farming produce with the grain is phenomenal for all of us. Carbohydrates. Thank you so much for participating, Shoaib. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that comes through with a bit of knowledge within politics, industrialization, globalization, anything that can bring something to the show. Even been talking about hydropolitics. People talking about shipments coming from India, China, coming from them countries into our docks, and we're doing distributions. No problem. No problem, Shoaib. I really appreciate you, buddy. I've been looking at what the actual governance of the whole sovereignty is. You know, we're talking about 30,000 feet above our ground level in the air where our planes fly. We own that. The sovereign of the land owns it, and they obviously have organisations where they say what can come in and what can't come in, as in tourists and distribution planes and things like that. Also, I think it's 3 meters offshore, or 3 meters or 30 meters offshore we own as well. Yes, it's COVID is doing everyone in at the moment, buddy. Like I say, but I can give you some ideas of what we can do during lockdown. We're all suffering from mental health. I'm so glad you're taking part in interacting with the show. Always helps. We're talking about Sadiq Khan. Sadiq Khan is Labour. Sadiq Khan. Everyone's got a good reason to be in you know, part of the democracy. Sadiq Khan is one of the best. The situation in COVID, we are high alert levels. Everything's in national lockdown, whole UK at the moment. We've got all essential. We've only got, I think, essential shops. It's main shops that we need are open. All the other shops are shut. Only the main shops, even food restaurants, only takeaway places are open at the moment. Takeaway menus. I think pubs are doing takeaways again. They did take the stay they couldn't have that, but they're doing it again. Anyway, take down fact check website. Sadiq Khan tells stories. I try and interact with you in between show, and I'll give you some ideas what to do during lockdown, because there's a lot of listeners on Podbean, Castbox, and YouTube. The Conservative Party should take down a website masquerading as fact-checking Transport for London's TfL finances. Sadiq Khan has said, is the Mayor of London. London Mayor said the site, which accused him of presiding out of control waste, peddled fake news. This site does not carry Conservative branding, but describes itself as being published on behalf of Sean Bailey, the party's mayoral election candidate. Mr. Bailey said Mr. Khan had bankrupted the TfL and Londoners deserve to know. On Sunday, the organisation secured a 1.8 billion government bailout to keep the tube and bus services running until March next year, despite a financial shortfall. Ahead of next May's mayoral election, Labour and the Conservatives are arguing over whether current or historical mismanagement or a reduction in passengers due to coronavirus is to blame for the TfL's problems. The Conservative Party's Transport for London ballot website gives the address of its publishers as the 4th Matthew Park Street, London, which is party's headquarters. Population plays a major role to down the economy of any particular country. Absolutely. The Conservative Party transport for the I'll come to answer that question in a second. The Conservative Party's Transport for London ballot website gives the address of its publisher as 4th Matthew Street, London, on which the party headquarters. It states that the TfL has wasted 9.56 billion since 2016, when Mr. Khan became mayor, including on pension overpayments, debt interest, and lost revenue caused by delays to the Crossrail project. Meanwhile, losses in fares during the coronavirus crisis has mounted to only 1.6 billion. It adds. Sean Bailey said Londoners deserve to know the information on the website. I'm just going to pause that right there. I'll answer Shabs Malik's question. Population plays a major role down the economy of any particular country. Population, yes, we need to keep the economy moving for the population to survive, really. But when we come out of this public austerity that we're facing, all of us, we're facing a public austerity. No two ways about it. When we come out of it, you're going to be getting emergency tax on your work. I should imagine. Anyone going back into work after they come out of this lockdown, you've been furloughed off for X amount of time. You're going to be on emergency tax, trying to pay every penny back over a certain amount of time. All the money's been borrowed. It's going to have to be paid back one way or another. The requirement of jobs will increase. Absolutely, more jobs. If we can't get the online sources that we need to get extra further education, which I'm trying to get. But we're in a situation at the moment where no one's in the office. I was supposed to do a business management course, and I can't get through to the office. They've got my name down. I'm supposed to be starting it within the next several days. Yeah, we will live a poor standard life, but jobs are going to be put out there for all occupants. You know, whatever job you're looking for, you need to go and do further education. There's a lot of further education things out there from our government. I don't know about what's like in India. I should imagine similar sort of thing. But Labour disputes the 9.56 billion figure, arguing that Mr. Khan significantly improved the financial situation of the TfL in the 4 years leading up to the pandemic. It says the pension scheme has not changed during his time as mayor. That much of the TfL's debt was accrued under Mr. Khan's predecessor Boris Johnson, and that the problems with Crossrail were also detected during Mr. Johnson's morality. In a minute, Shoaib Malik, would you like to call in a minute? I'll tell you when I finish this conversation of Sadiq Khan. You can call in. You can tell me what how the economy is running in India, because I've got a lot of listeners would like to know as well. Mr. Khan's spokesperson said the website is fake news and masquerading as facts. Only the reason the TfL needs government support is because COVID-19 decimated our fares income, as happened to train operators across the country. They added that before the pandemic, Mr. Khan was clearing up the financial mess that left Boris Johnson's morality, which lasted from 2008 to 2016. A spokesperson for Mr. Bailey's campaign said if Sadiq Khan is right about explaining his side of the story, he can set up his own website. This website puts the facts out there. It doesn't tell the people what to think. Londoners can make up their own minds. The London mayoral election was due to happen in May this year, but it was delayed by a year because of coronavirus. In the run-up to late December's general election, the Conservatives were criticised for rebranding their press offices, the Twitter account, and the Fact Check UK for the duration of the TV debate between party leader Boris Johnson and Labour's Jeremy Corbyn. At the time, Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab said it was pegged at the CCHQ, Conservative Campaign headquarters. No one looking at it for the split second will have been fooled. They can see it from the CCHQ. Would you like to call in and give your verdict, Mr. Shoaib Malik? Would you like to call in and give us a bit of Indians politics? That'd be great. We'd like to bring it into the show. That'd be absolutely phenomenal if you could. We'd really like to hear you on the call. I think my listeners would like to hear you on the call as well. You see, it's nice to have international friendly relations. If you'd like to call in, we'd really, really appreciate it, Mr. Malik. Just help the show, having a debate over from international seas as well. Let us know what the industry's like. In India, politics is just a simple way to get rich. Yes, it's pretty much the same all globally. I think you'd find, Mr. Malik. Would you like to call in and give us your verdict? Maybe you got good intentions with expressing your own ideas to the show. Loads of listeners would love to hear your ideas of what's going on in India. Really, call in, Mr. Malik. Can you call in? Press the call in button and then give us your verdict of what's going on in India at the moment. Otherwise, I've got to move on with the show, buddy. Okay, then, no problem. He's interacting with me, but he's not calling, unfortunately. So we're going to move on. Things to do during COVID-19. No pressure there, Mr. Malik. It's just been nice to hear your voice and give us your verdict, but it's no problem. We're going to move on. Can't force someone to call in if they don't want to call in. Things to do. Why are you in lockdown? Oh, here we go, Here we go. Thank goodness you're calling in, buddy. How you doing, buddy? Oh, yeah, I'm all right. How you doing? How you doing? Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. So, Mr. Malik, were you calling from India? What about Whereabouts in India are you?
Your voice is cracking in the middle.
Oh, okay. You can hear me? Okay, can you?
Okay, I think there is something in problem of network.
There's a problem. There's a problem. You can't hear me properly, Mister. You can hear me, yeah. So yeah, we're talking about obviously COVID-19. How's it affecting India at the moment? You know,
COVID-19 is getting slowed down every day.
yeah. You on a full national
Still,
you on a full national lockdown? Is everything like a tier three level three tier three or whatever they call it?
uh, national lockdown is about to close in India.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. It's the same. That's what's happening in England at the moment. It happened yesterday. What's Mr. Malik?
India, yeah, yeah.
What's your occupation?
I'm studying.
Are you
I'm doing BBA.
BB?
After BBA, I want to pursue an MBA
Yeah.
from a recognized worldly university.
Oh, okay. That's very good, mate. What do you want to become once you finished? What is it? What's the qualification game? Where do you go into after that?
I'm just studying in uh, with a whole hole.
Pardon, I can't hear that. Sorry, Manic.
Yeah, now you can ask me any question.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, with the COVID-19, are you still studying? How do you do your study online, or you do it are you doing it in university?
In India, there is a lot of family religious and doing a very lot of harm.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's not too bad. So you can't, university shut down, is it? Closed down?
However, lockdown is already given hard June.
I didn't hear you there, Manic. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
What about okay, let's get off the subject of university. How about the restaurants and takeaways and
You know about America. There is politics between Biden and
yeah, yeah, I know, but
Trump.
yeah, I've been watching that. I'm quite, addressed on politics.
What's happening there? What's happening there?
Biden is ahead at the moment. I know Trump's not happy with some of the votes, but he's trying to make well, a bit of an accusation about saying Joe Biden's cheating. I think
Oh,
I'm not sure that they're in. I don't know. They're in the last couple of states, but then that's going. Then the winner at the end, which is Joe Biden by quite a margin at the minute. I don't know if Trump's going to put it back. To be honest, yeah.
what's happening in UK?
The UK, everything's on lockdown. We still got the major stores open, like the big supermarkets. We can get takeaway food. I think they're doing takeaway alcoholic drinks at a lot of pubs now. They were shutting all that down, to be honest. They should have done because I can't see why alcohol's good for your mental health. To be honest,
Okay, what is the recovery rate of COVID-19 there?
what's the what? Sorry.
What is the recovery rate of COVID-19 patients there in
Uh,
UK?
the recovery rate. I honestly don't, I couldn't answer that question on the top of my head, but I could research it. But it's a bit of time consuming. While I'm on a call, I'm trying to keep my show running with the audience. What do you get up to in your day after university? You got any hobbies or interests? What do you like sport wise? Do you like football, cricket?
What is your occupation?
My occupation, I was radio presenting in the meantime, but my academic integrity is also arts and humanities at university, like yourself. It's a BA. It's going to be a
Oh,
BA honours once I'm graduated.
I want to be. I want to get the job in UK, so how can I apply for the job in UK?
Um, you will be able to get a job because you're part.
After completing my MBA.
Yeah, you have to. I don't know. I think you have to. I don't. I'm not quite sure. You need to speak to your maybe local MP. Be best advice because I'm not too clued up on about travel and tourism. I know you might have to get some sort of visa. I'm not sure, but you're better off speaking to your local.
Marketing.
What's that? Sorry.
I just want to do MBA with marketing and HR.
Yeah, yeah. Your best opportunity advisor would be your local politician.
So is there any scope for marketing and HR?
Marketing in HR. Do you say? Is that marketing in HR? Man, I'm not. I'm not. 100, I'm not 100% sure about it. It's not my. It's not. It's not my. It's not my. Forte to look that up because it's not my job. I haven't looked. But you bet. You better off if you look online. Look online for jobs in the UK and put in whatever you just said. MB. I never heard that before. If you put if you Google it and put in UK jobs for MB or whatever you just said, it'll tell you all the price range, how much I can earn. Put that in Google and it'll take you straight to your anything you want to look on the internet. Be very netiquette when you use netiquette referencing. Make sure you put specific details down in the UK. MB, how much will I earn? Whatever you're looking for.
How many years you ruled over India?
What's that, sorry, buddy?
How many years you have ruled us?
University. I'm on my second year now. I'm on my second year. But, mate, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you because I'm gonna have to love you and leave you, buddy, because I've got to carry on my show. But if you see, what's that? Sorry.
How's it with you and your family?
How is my family? My family all well, thank you. How's yours? All okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna have to yeah, Malik, I'm ever so sorry, buddy. I've got one on with the show, so I'm gonna have to love you and leave you. But if you want to listen in and you think there's something that benefit you with my conversation with the radio cast, you can always come back and call in. All right, buddy. I'm gonna let you go, buddy, and I'm gonna carry on with the show. So I've got a lot to get through, and there's a lot of listeners waiting to hear the updates of what's been going on. Sorry, yeah, what I was saying, Malik. Oh, okay, buddy. What I was saying is I've got to let the show go on. I'm gonna have to hang up the phone for a minute, and you can call in back in shortly. Yeah. All right, buddy. Take care. Love. Thank you so much for calling in. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you too, Malik. Take care, buddy. Take care. God bless, mate. Take care. That was Malik from India, ladies and gents. Thank you, Malik, for calling in. As I was saying, ladies and gents, sorry about that. I didn't mean to. Well, it's pleasant having a caller come in actually on the show. I don't think you guys on YouTube have seen me with a caller. That's Malik from India. India, like I was saying, a massive globalization country with a grain, the rice, wheat. Anyway, what I'm saying is we're all suffering through the pandemic lockdown, run out of ideas, things to do. Well, if you switch over to Netflix, the top films, the best movies on Netflix at the moment for children, family, quite possibly. Paranorman. Paranorman is a good film. I'm looking at all the best, latest releases on Castbox. Take care, Malik. Thank you for coming through and take care. Good night. What time is it there, Malik? So this film is the director Sam Fell and Chris Butler. We're looking at the cast. We got Cody Smith McPhee, Cassie Affleck, Anna Kendrick, John Goodman, Alex Borston, Leslie Mann, Jeff Garlin, Elaine Stritch, and Tucker Alberizzi. Um, if you're looking at a fun family movie that's generally spooky and has a surprising message, then I urge you check out The Paranorman. And another film is out, a film called Carol. It looks like a really good Christmas film. A film called Carol. The cast: Kate Blanket, Rooney Mary, Shura, Sarah Paulson, Jake Lacey, and Kyle Chandler. Looks like a good Christmas film. Carol is a sumptuous, sensual love story told with elegance and grace, based on the book of The Price of Salts by Patricia Highsmith. The film takes place in 1952. Glamorous married woman, Kate Blanchett. I won't read it all for you. Another good film, Moneyball. Moneyball looks like it's got Brad Pitt. Yes, it has. Moneyball with Brad Pitt. There's another guy in it that I noticed on the film I just watched a minute ago. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. In this cast of this Moneyball is Brad Pitt, Joanna Hill, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Chris Pratt, and Robin Wright. This gives one of the best performances of his career in the 2011 sports drama Moneyball, which went through a fraught development period. Steven Soderbergh was he was fired from directing 3 days before shooting, and was supposed to begin, but came out pretty spectacular on the other end, based on a true story. It's based on a true story. I won't read it all. Enola Holmes. Enola Holmes. This film. This looks like a quite good film. My kind of film. It looks like Enola Holmes. Harry Bradbeer. Harry Bradbeer actually. Millie Bobby Brown and Lewis Partridge, Henry Cavill, Sam Claflin, and Helena Bonham Carter. I mean, when I said Harry Bradbeer, that's what I thought. That's a sort of name, a usual name, but Harry Bradbeer is a quite unusual name. Enola Holmes is one of the best and most charming Netflix originals released this far. Based on the book series of the same name by Nancy Springer, the period mystery follows Millie Bobby Brown, titular character who is one of youngest Holmes' sibling and has been raised nearly in solitude by a single mother. Hunt for the Wilder People. Hunt for the Wilder People. Another film. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but these are like the top 10. I'll read that again. Hunt for the Wilder People. Hunt for the Wilder People out on Netflix. Before Taiki Waititi made one of the best MCU movies to date, and before he won an Oscar for Jojo Rabbit, he made the delightful New Zealand adventure movie in which grumpy Sam Neill is forced to team up with a foul-mouthed child when he had two target and a manhunt throughout the New Zealand's bush. This could be a phenomenal show, guys. I'm not just going to give you what to do and what not to do. I'm going to give you some ideas. All stuff in silence for the mental health. Giving you, what's on TV, what's on the box. Fargo, a film called Fargo. Joe Cohen and Ethan Cohen. A film called Cargo. That film's called. Right. Anyway, let's moving on, ladies and gents. I'm giving you options, aren't I? I'm giving you options for this pandemic. What to do? Don't sit there and dwell, thinking I'm in lockdown. Nothing's open. Can't do my usual antics. Things to do in London during COVID. Things to do in London during COVID-19. Best things to do in London that will feel safe following COVID-19. Grab your mask and get planning. This was published on the 2nd of October, so things might have changed. With the government enforcing more restrictions for the rise of coronavirus cases in the UK, old fears of contracting the virus have resurfaced for many. While there's not the same lockdown as before, you may be asking questions: what's safe to do in London following the COVID-19 outbreak? Obviously, we're in national lockdown. Safe things to London during the coronavirus: grab a bite to eat. It's going to have to be takeaway now. As of the 25th of September, guests can dine. No, you can't dine. That's all changed. I'm not going to give you that. But think about getting a takeaway. That's all I can say. Open air theatre. They've got an open air theatre, which I don't think that's going to be happening either. You're going to have to check that out. Open air theatre in London. I don't think that it will be happening anytime soon. Walking tours. That's not going to be happening. See some art at the Tate Modern. Not going to be doing that either. To a spa. Won't be doing that either. Stroll around the market. That's not going to happen either. Explore museum. That is not going to be something you're doing. Something out the window. I haven't took it up to date because I didn't put up to date things we can do. Think of things you can do in the open. You can go for a walk in, I don't know, Hyde Park. Where else can you go in London? Where else can you go in London? That's iconic. Walk along London Bridge. But how are you going to get there? That's what you got to think of. How are you going to get there on the tube? Is it safe on the tube? On rush, you need to check out the rush hour times and try and avoid people going to work. That's all I can say. Try and go at times when people are not going to work to be on the safe side. Make sure you got a COVID mask on. Make sure you're wearing gloves because you don't want to be touching something you don't want you touching. Thing freezing cold. Why would you want to walk along the beach? I don't know. You got Rush Green. Where Clacton Football Stadium is. Nice field over there. There's a park there, but I don't know if they're going to put the barriers up at the park. Please take your dog for a walk in your family, but stay in your bubble. Don't communicate with other members of other households. Simple restrictions. Going to get onto the next news. Next, flux with the news, flux with the show. I'm not sure how long this show is going to be today, but we've got a fair bit to get through. I want you guys to, most of all, enjoy it. Just enjoy the show. Let's get spreading the show. Rather than spread the virus, let's spread the show. Let's get more followers, more subscribers. It's important that we send a message, not just globally. Yeah, globally. As I said, not just locally, globally. That's what I was trying to say. But we got stuck with the tongue tied with the twist of the motion of the ocean. Motion of the ocean. It's quite a good show today. I mean, I had one caller, Shoaib Malik. We need more people getting involved with the show. More people calling in. It's good to have a debate. I mean, what do you reckon? Joe Biden would do a better job than President Trump? I mean, Trump has a good, to be honest with you, he is quite ludicrous with some of his things, but he's done a good job. He's helped with economic. Well, he's brought more money to the country through the globalization. He has brought more money because it's proven. I don't know if it's 200 billion more pounds since he's been in charge. Supposedly, I don't know how true that is. Let's have a look at what's going on here. Good food awards and fish and chip shop. I don't know if they do delivery because you're giving you ideas. You want to get a takeaway. You're sitting in with loved ones. You're living in Essex, same as me. Sunday fun day with your family because church ain't open now. Church is not open. How can you celebrate in your church? I don't like online churches. I do listen in. It's good to have something on. Keep you occupied. I don't always listen in. I find it hard to concentrate for if I've just been stuck church online. I find it hard because I know I can go in there. It's like if I was allowed to sit inside Parliament, it's not going to be the same as me watching it on the TV. Anyway, we look at Good Food Awards, the best fish and chip shop in Essex for 2021. We all have our favourite chippies where you order the same thing every time and it never fails to satisfy you. But some fish and chip shops in Essex have been given golden status for the Good Food Awards within 2021 award fish and chips. Over the last 12 months, we've analysed customers' feedback for the quality of food service value of each fish and chip shop in the UK. And 3 of the Essex chippies have made the cut between 2021 Good Food Award for fish and chips. and it is easy to say why. For those who lived in Southend, it may come as no surprise that the new cod on the block has been bestowed to the prestigious award for amazing reviews and food quality. Over in Harlow, my place has also given the award for their incredible food and service. Seven Kings Fish Bar in Ilford has also been given the award. With the lockdown starting again, we all deserve a treat or two. So why not try out the best fish and chips in town? Exactly what I was just saying. New Cod on the Block is a traditional family-run fish and chip shop, frying quality fish to perfection since 1975. They also have gluten-free menu. The New Cod on the Block. It's in Rayleigh Road in Southend. They've got Just Kebab sitting next door. My place in Harlow. 15 Coppice Hatch, Harlow. On the Good Awards website, it said, "My place guarantees only the best quality fish and chips served by an attentive and a friendly staff. We only use highest quality of fish caught by substantial fishing grounds and every very best quality potatoes from local farms to ensure to give our customer our very best quality fish and chips all time." I mean, you're worried about putting weight on during the lockdown. Well, don't overindulge. Still try and keep active. Go for a brisk walk or jog. Small bit of exercise a day, especially while in lockdown. There's no reason why you can't do, especially the workers that have worked 8 hours a day, 7 hours, 8 hours a day, plus traveling. That's 10 hour shift. It's not going to do you any harm to do an hour workout the next day after you had a big takeaway. Enjoy yourself, but not too much. Just a little outside Essex, for Seven Kings Fish Bar has also been given the award. The awards are based on reviews of the service and quality of food. That is, I mean, I'm giving you ideas what, go and treat yourself, treat your family, but don't overindulge. You need to keep your health, prioritize your health, absolutely. All the shops and restaurants still open at Lakeside during lockdown. You know that? Is it because it's coming up to Christmas? Is it updated? That's what we need to find out. We'll come back to that shortly. That's phenomenal anyway, if it is open for you guys. You want something to do. COVID-19, will the pandemic shift the power balance in England for good? I got a funny feeling after COVID, once it's all blown over, it's going to be better for a lot of us trying to get into work, especially some of us, postgraduates just come out of uni. By the time we get out of this and everything's just picking up again, we might find ourselves a lucky, just like when you get a lucky run, you land on your feet. You lived a really bad life, we're living a bad life. You lost your job, you lost your missus because of your job, you lost your family, and then we go back to normal, and you get that second life. You get a second chance in life. We all want that boost in life, don't we? All of us want that boost. I mean, some of us have already been on our feet for God knows how long. It's about time someone else gets back on their feet, and why don't they get given a second chance at life? Everyone deserves a second chance in life. Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham's showdown with Boris Johnson over financial support for those who are hit by COVID rules in a fast fading memory as England goes into another national lockdown. But will it prove to be a turning point in a battle for more local control? That Andy Burnham is trying to take, a bit of control back for Manchester, Liverpool area. In England, mayors are traditionally ceremonial with chains of office but no actual power. Council leaders call out the shots in a vast majority of city and towns. But Mr. Burnham is one of a handful and a new metro mayors who, unlike council leaders, are directly elected. As an experienced political operator, Mr. Burnham knew how to seize a moment in his battle last month for the Prime Minister, leading to accusation of grandstanding from his opponents. But the fact that 359,352 people voted for him in 2017, added to his authority. I mean, put yourself in Boris Johnson, Tony Blair. I'm just saying it from perspective. You know, it could be a Labour or Conservative Prime Minister. You got this guy, Andy Burnham. He's up north. He thinks, well, he's not really part of London, so he's trying to make it independent on his own. He's trying to make his own rules up. What's that make the Prime Minister? If you can't listen to the Prime Minister's orders given to the absolute sovereignty of the whole land, I mean, just you know, it doesn't matter who's Prime Minister. Tony Blair, Sir Keir Starmer, Nicola Sturgeon was the governor over the whole land. But obviously she's in Scotland. But Andy Burnham's trying to take north of England his priority and nobody else's. He's not playing rules, is he? He's not playing the game. You can see Andy Burnham's perspective. He's trying to do what's best for Manchester, Merseyside, all them areas to try and, you know. But if he does it, there's too many chiefs. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. There's been more Indians taking guidelines off. Too many Indians, not enough chiefs. So the Indians are playing up. They need to listen to the chief in charge. That's what I'm saying. He ain't listening. He's doing it. He's doing everything on his own back. Former Chancellor George Osborne describes it as the week of mayors came of age. As a man who helped to set up the new Metro mayor system, you would expect him to sing their praises. But is he right? How did we get here? Over the past century, the process of a devolution, the transferring of power from the central government and to a more local level, has ebbed and flowed in the UK. Did I tell you? I don't know if I come on. My mate, my friend from Enfield, Adam, the musician, he had COVID-19. He said he felt very, very deadly. He felt he's almost dead. He could move one day in his bed, almost paralysed with COVID-19. And I didn't ever think I'd know someone. There's a couple of people said they think they've had it. I was a bit, you know, but when I know Adam, you know, quite well. I mean, we're quite good friends, and I believe every word he says. He's not a man to lie. He went missing. I usually keep in contact with him through my social media thing. He went missing, so I noticed something wasn't right. He went missing for quite some time, about 2 weeks. I didn't notice him there. He's back now playing his music, and he's very, very ill. So I know he's not lying. You know, it's not when you realise people taking chances, taking risks, putting your own family life at stress, your own kids, your wife, your missus, your mum and dad. People not taking into consideration that it is actually real. People like Andy Burnham, let's just keep pushing, see how far we can go till we all catch it. Then you hear in the Parliament, it could be a matter of time where 100,000 people will be catching it by day if we don't play by restrictions. So we've got to play by restrictions. It's simple as that. We're getting colder, our immune system is getting worse, and more of us are going to multiply with COVID-19. In the latter half of the 19th century, industrialisation, massive population increases, and the need for social reform to the creation of more local councils, often run by power figures. Joseph Chamberlain in Birmingham, for example, took control of utility services and the revenue to build libraries and parks in the city. Post 1945, central government was in the ascendancy as Labour delivered the welfare state. I mean, I see a lady on Facebook. It's quite significant. She's one of the NHS workers. She said to what the government are saying about going up in numbers. She's saying, well, the amount of COVID patients is not actually mounting up to the amount of COVID, you know, the COVID target, what's going on in the status, you know, these scientific professors or whatever putting the statistics up on these charts in the media, saying it's all false. She's saying she works in NHS, so she knew exactly how many COVID patients and how many people bug up. But you can't point a finger and say, you know, let's just carry on as normal. There's still COVID out there, regardless. She said it herself. She's standing in it, protesting in the town centre. I can't think of top man. I read it. It's this morning. I see the protest. I can't remember where she was. I don't know if it was up Harlow Way or something. I can't remember, but you might see it on YouTube if you search for it. NHS workers. She's come out of the NHS. She said she's sick of what's going on, so she's left. She made that's just by an idol. She's come out of a job. She had a fixated job, but she's saying it's not COVID. If it's not COVID, you're not at risk. You should be working. She shouldn't give it up. So it swings and roundabouts. She knows she's come out of work. She could go on universal credit, still get paid. It's ridiculous till something better else comes up once we come out of all this lockdown. Conservative Margaret Thatcher clashed with high-spending Labour councils and abolished 6 metropolitan councils, including Ken Livingstone. It run Greater London Council. She also compelled local authorities to outsource more of their services to private companies, a policy enthusiastically embraced by subsequent governments. Under the last Labour government, devolution came back into fashion. Tony Blair paved the way for parliaments in Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales. London got an elected mayor, but the efforts are set up a directly elected regional assembly in the northeast of England were resoundingly rejected in a referendum. As a Chancellor in David Cameron's government, Mr Osborne promoted the idea in giving more power to Northern English cities, a project he dubbed the Northern Powerhouse. He set up the devolution deals whereby city regions could not be given greater control over areas such as local transport, provided they were willing to move to a new model of governance, including having an elected metro mayor. Since 2017, metro mayors have been elected in Cambridgeshire and Peterborough, Greater Manchester, Liverpool City region, the North of Tyne, the Sheffield City region, Tees Valley, the West of England and the West of Midlands. Confused? You're not alone. Reflecting on the current state of English devolution at recent MPs committee. The witnesses. All academics seem to be in agreement on 2 things. Firstly, Power in England is still heavily centralised. It has frequently been labelled one of the most centralised large democracies in the developed world. Secondly, the current arrangement for trying to decentralise power are a bit messy. Opaque, disconnected, deeply confusing. These were the responses when the witnesses were asked to describe governance in England. If you spend any time looking at evolution at intermediate level of governance in England over the last 20 to 25 years, you already do need to wrap wet towel over your head. Professor Richard Wynne-Jones or Cardiff University has told MPs. Michael Kenny, Professor of Public Policy of Cambridge University, said it was not always clear where the new regional metro mayors sit in relation to the existing city mayors and then, in turn, where the fits from the local councils. Ladies and gents, you're just tuning in to Proclamation News and Governance. Please subscribe, please share the show. And if you want to debate anything, what's going on around globally, if you're suffering in any kind of consequences, always interact, share. Everyone's suffering through the lockdown measures, aren't they? Everyone's suffering through mental health. What could I do for mental health? Give you ideas how to maintain, keep focused, keep on working on something. Keeping your mind active is very important. People building, working together, help driving the nation forward. You want something to do, you need to read a book, get yourself involved. What can you do if you get involved in politics to help with local campaigns? I'm doing a campaign, and every time I come live, I'm talking, I'm negotiating a business, negotiating the experience. I'm trying to get more providers, more people listening, more people induced by the government, what they do for the whole of the country. Democracy, what they do for democracy. Eco-friendly air. Stop the ozone layer cracking. Absolutely. Industrialisation, pollution, environmental friendly, farms, everything. You name it, we claim it. Even the sea, all the pollution that goes out in the sea. Who runs your local services? In many parts of England, local government operates under the two-tier system, with both a county council and a district. Borough or city council provide the services. County council responsibilities include education, social care, and waste disposal. It's like the waste disposal. Do you keep all your stuff in a when you put your stuff out? Make sure they go in the right bags. I mean, I try my best. I ain't gonna lie, but in this weather, I am absolutely shot to bits in this weather. It's getting cold. Today's been actually nice. I've been sat indoors. I haven't gone out. The sun has been shining belting from my window. Don't get me wrong. Each county is subdivided into areas represented by the district, borough, or city councils. These councils are responsible for rubbish collection, housing, and planning. Some parts of the country are governed by a single body, for example, a unitary authority or a metropolitan borough, which provide all local services. Sometimes parish and towns operates under the district councils or unity of authorities. They can have responsibilities for local issues, including allotments and public clocks. Under devolution deals, two or more councils can join forces to become a combined authority, allowing them to collaborate. Well, the councils own churches, of course. Some councils own churches. I speak to my MP, my old church, Nigerian Gospel Church. That's absolutely phenomenal. But it's in a little community hall. Their speakers are something else. They're very, very motivational. They've got evangelism. Talk about evangelism at its finest art. And these Nigerian Gospel Church are put in a small little church next to a pub. I mean, they don't drink. The evangelists there, they're very strict. They don't drink, and they're stuck. They're stuck on the side of a pub. Is that fair? Is that fair? Now you got church and they got massive church. And they get a little community hall. I mean, they're happy, aren't they? I mean, you're happy wherever you get put, but it'd be nice if they got a big church. I did speak to the constituency MP of Grant Shapps in Hertfordshire. Tried to get moved. I think he's looking into it. If it's been changed or not, I don't know. It's another thing. Let's hope so. Despite the need for wet towels, political parties have in recent years appeared keen to pursue further devolution in England. One reason for this is to believe that it could be help tackle regional inequality for help level up the country, to use the government jargon. Professor Ariana Giovanni from the D. Montfort of University says that over-centralisation is the root cause of regional inequality in of the country. Professor Kenny said local governments are in some ways too small to be able to deal with some of the really big policy challenges, while central government is too remote to really be able to have the depth of understanding. Devolution in time of COVID. Although a strong central state can lead to faster decision making, there is also an argument that the UK's response to coronavirus would have been better if local bodies had more power. Professor Tony Tavers from South London School of Economics argues that councils and city regional mayors were barely part of the initial response to COVID-19, adding the government has latterly realised it is impossible to deliver effective local responses from the desks in Whitehall. And Labour has repeatedly called on the government to allow local public health experts to run tests and trace operations rather than accompany sick row. Professor Giovanni says that his normal times in the UK has been more prone to policy blunders due to the over-centralised model. She cites the 1989 poll tax as one example. There is a tendency to one-size-fits-all approach, she says. With the pandemic, this has been taken to the next stage. If you want recovery measures to be effective, they have to be place sensitive, she says. This sentiment was recently echoed by more than 70 business leaders from the north of England who said, "We need recovery led from here, with decisions and funding led by leaders here, not driven from Whitehall." In a letter to the Prime Minister, they said a Northern Chancellor needs to devolve more and create more metro mayors to ensure that all the North can benefit. Whitehall still holds the purse from strings. Professor Kenny says the pandemic shed a light on the fact that the terms of the relationship between central government and mayors, central government holds most of the cards and controls of most money. Power lies with those who hold to the purse of strings, and while some mayoral combined authorities can raise money through business rates and council tax, they're largely reliant on the grants that they get a discretion of central government. A parliamentary briefing on subject says that whilst mayors may do many things, in practice they can afford to do relatively few. Mr. Burnham recently told the House of Lords Committee devolution can be begging bow devolution, where we constantly go on beyond knee, saying, can we be a bit more money for this? Can we have a bit more money for that? He said it is the UK serious about devolution. Mayors should have access to substantial and flexibility funding, and suggested this could be one day included powers to borrow money and greater tax raising powers. But will that officially happen? Following hostile bargaining with Greater Manchester over lockdown measures, might the government feel reluctant to allow further devolution? Financial Times has reported that the Prime Minister is calling on the idea for a strong local leadership of Professor Kenny. He says that following a bruising set of arguments with metro mayors in the government, it is good to be very careful about how they advance the devolution agenda. Professor Travers says, whilst it is possible that a constitutional reset will result from the current situation, often in the past, the instinct of central government of all parties following a policy problem is to further centralise power. Devolution has already appeared to have been put on the back burner, he says, pointing to rumours that the white paper of devolution is expected to be delayed. The genie is a bit out of the bottle. She argues that Andy Burnham's outdoor press conference could be the point of devolution and makes a breakthrough in a popular imagination. Up until now, the devolution deals has appeared technocratic to the average citizen, but the general public comes to recognise and support the mayors. It could create a force that cannot be controlled by the centre, she says. And if the voters turn out next year's local election in large numbers, that could give minor mayors a strong mandate to demand the powers they want to from the Whitehall. A spokesperson from the Department of Housing, Communities and Local Government says the government had worked hand in hand with local leaders to determine the local measures and support communities during the pandemic, including giving them an unprecedented $6.4 billion in extra funding. We are now levelling up of all areas of the country and empowering our regions by devolving money, resources and control away from the Westminster. This includes investigating transport technology, skills and cultural through our $3.6 billion Towns Fund. A detailed plan for further devolution, which will be set out in due course. We're coming up, I think we've got our local election coming up, ladies and gents. Would you have a quick minute, 5-minute break? I'm going to still be here, not going anywhere, but it'd be nice to have some callers. Health Secretary Matt Hancock on the first.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's proclamation news and Gavins. It's with the prodigious, it's the prominent professor at PNG. Why get involved? You want to get involved in politics, but you know where to start. Party politics, people politics, helping ecosystem, pollution to our environment. Talk about hydropolitics, anything. You know, you want to take a part. You want to have your voice heard. You want to get involved in environmental friendly and stop pollution to businesses, such as all kinds of business, farming, pollution of the air. You want to get involved. Know where to start. Well, I'll give you a bit of detail. Firstly, please subscribe, share. I want more subscribers, more followers. It's the prodigious, the prominent professor at PNG. How to get involved? Speak to one of your local constituency MPs. I'm a Conservative trainee councillor at the moment. I'm looking at all business, the sociological side of things in business. How does it interrupt in our business? Maybe their business too close to a suburban area in a stage of criminology. Anyway, as a member, if you want to become a member, as a member, you can play a key role in the party, supporting the work we're doing in government and contributing the ideas, policies and future of the party. You'll be invited to join us at a party conference and to attend local and national events. And if you're just joining us, once you've been a member for 3 months, you can also take part in the party elections. To reduce our environmental impact, we are no longer issuing plastic membership cards. Please be assured that this does not impact your membership. You will never be asked to produce a card to provide your membership. Our members are our most important campaigners. Your support is enabling us to build a brighter future. It's only about, I think it's £25 a year. I think it's £2 a month. You pay over a month. You feel you like that, have a takeaway at the weekend or have a takeaway once a week. It's nothing, is it? It's nothing at all. Or go to the pub, spending money on, just cut down the activities. You want to help have your voice heard. It's very important. What your membership gets you, does it get you fish and chips? Well, what's it get you? It's very important to subscribe to Proclamation News and Gavin. It's giving you the key evidence of what's entailed of signing up with a party. I'm Conservative. I always say it's bona fide Conservative and working on progression. You can help us win elections. All of your subscription goes towards our campaigns. It gets the latest from inside. With regular member updates and exclusive member invites. Take part in our campaign groups like our Conservative Women's Organisation, the Young or Conservative Friends. Conservative Friends Group. Meet like-minded people and make a difference to our country. The influence party policy by giving feedback on policy and the briefs. Choose candidates and vote for leadership elections so you can choose the people you want to represent you. Come to party conference and spring forum. Join our MPs, councillors and activists at the biggest events of the Conservative local campaigns and attend social events with members just like you. So it's, be part of something. It's like, supporting your local football team. Supporting the whole environment. Talk about supporting the government. It's being in part of something. It's very important to be part of something. You want to be something, you want to go somewhere, so you need to wake up and pay attention. Stand for election as a member, you have the opportunity to stand for election as a Conservative. So if you decide you want to take part in that democracy, you can. This is Proclamation News and Gavin with the prodigious, the prominent professor at PNG, ladies and gents. Help share and subscribe. I need more listeners. I'll put a lot of entertainment onto my YouTube channel, singing, all kinds of entertainment, a bit of comedy. I've had a bit of comedy in the recent past. It's worth following my YouTube channel to get an insight. It's good content. It's good. I've got a lot of segments on my YouTube, like an entrepreneur as such. I've got singing, rapping, all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to bring a wider audience into my YouTube channel. It should be a YouTube channel with massive gatherings, but not enough subscribers. So the more subscribers, the more benefit is for me. This is a business, a small growing business. It needs to be backed by the exchequer with a big paycheck, and we get this ball rolling. This is proclamation news and gatherings with a prodigious the pomp professor. This has been going for over 2 years now. Media studies since 1994, 95, I believe. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me the time of day. Make sure you tune in. I'm going to be following through my live content just shortly. Take care, my love, and speak soon.
Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. Not coming up close to an end, but I'd like to say we are sponsored by O2 Network devices. I've gone mobile phone, compare the mobile phone contract. O2 are nearly 5-star. They're top of the range of mobile phone devices. The best deal, latest O2 mobile phone deals. We have found 54 products live. The top 54. We've got the iPhone 12 mini. It's £44 monthly cost. It's 5G ready. It's ready. It's a pre-order. It's a new phone out. It comes in black, light blue, white, like a jade, and red. We've got another £50 a month. Is the iPhone 12. It's not the iPhone 12 mini. It's a normal one. iPhone 12 normal. There is an iPhone 12 Pro out as well, but the iPhone 12 has a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display, ceramic shield, tougher than any smartphone glass. 5G for super fast downloads and high quality streaming. I mean, I've got iPhone. I think my phone's iPhone 11. It is tough glass. Let me tell you, I've dropped it many times. Thankfully, I haven't had it cracked yet. I'm going to touch wood as I say that because I've cracked all my screens on all my phones in previous. With that, you get an offer on Apple TV Plus included for 1 year. iPhone 12 Pro, you got a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display. It pretty much comes with all the same equipment, but it's just a new one out. 5G, super fast download, high quality streaming. Well, let's view the deals. It's not a front cost of £4.99 to get the device. We'll check what deals they do. There's a Pro Max as well, still £65 a month. Yeah, you're looking at 60. It's about £63 a month. You don't really want to be paying that much. But if you're in that situation to be able to afford it, why not? Even if you was in that situation to afford it, you'd be a bit crazy to spend that man on a phone, paying that much. But you do get many offers like free trips away. It's not a good time to getting trips away, is it, at the moment? So the offers they do is probably not a great idea to be going for it now. But I'm going to give you a rundown because as we are sponsored by O2 devices, I've got to give you a outlook like a guru would give you. You want unlimited data. You get unlimited data, or you can get 5 gig of data. I think if you're looking at, let's put a monthly cost of £25. Going up to £25. See what you get up to £25. Up to £25. I don't think it's going to give us what date we get. Oh, no, it's not going to have it. It's just saying £65 a month. Doesn't tell. Oh, you get 128 gig of data. It's free available. You get the plans unlimited, data unlimited, minutes unlimited, text unlimited. That's what you get for £65 a month. Giving you an insight, guys, what you can get for the £65 a month and £5 upfront cost, and the device is yours for keeps. I think it's a 2-year running contract, I believe. So what? I'm on my vape now. My breathing is absolutely so much better. I feel a lot healthier since I give up smoking tobacco. I looked on online forum about smoking these vapes. Some people still saying there's people getting um, heart and lung infections, but not in the UK. Only places like America, India, um, all the places where tobacco and cigars are, you know, big globalization markets, obviously. So that's why they say there's a lot of people coming in as patients with lung patients through the vape, trying to sell tobacco. Just believe me, smoking a vape is a lot better. I feel better myself. My teeth are becoming more healthier. My breath feels more fresher, and I feel a lot better. So, any smokers or anyone in your family that's smoking, look on the UK website for people with vape lung cancer. Ain't many, very very slim. So it's obviously for a sale perspective point of view, they're trying to push it out of the water as vape is bad for you. Saying, you know, some people can get water in the lungs, popcorn lung, this, that, and the other, trying to put you off. But believe me, I feel a lot better. So, you know, I know a lot of vape smokers been smoking it for long and not affected. As you can tell by my speech, not out of breath. I'm feeling a lot better myself. I know my heart and lungs are more healthier. I can speak more. I can sing more. I can be more enthusiastic. My character, better as a my characteristics a lot better. Stand here, I'll sit here, and I think actually I'm gonna do something and give people a bit of lifting spirit. Hello there, King and Princess. How you doing there? Hope you're well. Thank you for joining the show. We're almost coming to close. Where you from, Princess? Where you from, King? Where you from? Lovely to have you come through. I might keep the show going, keep you guys motivated. I want to have a bit of about hobbies, interests, maybe relationship advice, anything you want to bring to task for the show, something to do during pandemic. Castbox, podcasts, all the ones to develop and bring people together with a conversation or a debate. Coronavirus, Boris Johnson stresses stay at home message for England. We could talk about domestic violence, anything, domestic abuse. Um, what else could we talk about? We could talk about a suburban area where you're surrounded by metropolitan lunatic asylums. Are your children safe in your area? At the park where there's naughty kids, ASBO kids. We talk about hate crime on Facebook, social media, bringing children to tears, almost to the point where it almost feels suicidal. Got to keep an eye on our children, making sure their welfare is looked after, making sure your children's welfare is looked after. The Prime Minister stressed that people in England should stay home as a second lockdown begins. Boris Johnson said he knew people were wary, but 4 weeks of measures would make a real impact of the virus. Pubs, restaurants, and non-essential shops were forced to close on Thursday as part of the new restrictions. Earlier, Chancellor Rishi Sunak announced a furlough scheme to support jobs. It would be extended across the UK until the end of March. Speaking at a press conference in Downing Street, Mr Johnson said the measures were not a repeat of the spring, and there was a light at the end of the tunnel. He said the restrictions in England would automatically expire on the 2nd of December. There is expected to be another vote on the next steps needed to tackle the virus before the lockdown ends. So he's going to have, you can imagine, can't you, in Parliament as they send their emails around, trying to make it like a spider graph almost. These are the ideas. Everyone's putting their ideas to the spidergram. What should we go with? You got ideas to come back out of lockdown slowly. I start opening up the economy as businesses go back, like in office, having where there's 12 people in office, they might go back slowly, gradually. There's 6 people in office, but sitting opposite and well away from each other. You know, it's got to be another way to get back in lockdown. How can we go back, going back in? Should we have pubs open again where people can sit? You know, let's serve less at the table, have less tables out, have less families in, making sure they're in their bubble but well away from each other. I mean, as we went back into the pub life, I don't like pub life, but mum and dad like a coffee, they don't drink alcohol. We went into a Weatherspoons. As you sit in your little bubble, they have screens up. Where they usually have the glass separating the tables, they had the screens up. So your opposing family didn't cough over the top and breathe into your vicinity. But you still do cross families as you go to sit in your chair and you go to the toilet and whatever. You have to be careful. You're supposed to put your mask on as you go to the toilet. We added that although the changes were significant across the UK, the devolved nations were working together on a joint approach with the object of having as normal as a Christmas as possible. The devolved nations each make their own actions, with Wales currently in a 17-day firebreak lockdown, while Scotland is in a tier and Northern Ireland in the midst of a 4-week limited lockdown. I sometimes, not now so much, but before, I like to find a bit of interaction. Like I'm studying, I'd like to go library, for an hour. That'd be different, wouldn't it? Going for coffee, I might have a easy day Friday, do an hour studies, go and sit in the library for an hour, because you sort of feel like you're interacting with people. Not essentially going there to chat to people. You're not to make noise in the library, but having people sitting at a desk is sort of like you're in an office environment. If you, do you get my drift? Anything, I practice my theory sitting here for driving. Perhaps I've got my license anyway. Saying like any youngsters, but sometimes doing a different environment, like a library, you feel like you're in an office environment with other students sitting next to you, and not just I say student, a bit weird coming for a mature student, but sitting with older adults also reading or trying to get some, I don't know, trying to get some legacy or whatever you want to put it, wisdom. New lockdown rules for England. Main restrictions from Thursday the 5th of November. Pubs and restaurants closed, but takeaways permitted. Non-essential shops, leisure and entertainment venues closed. All the gyms are closed again. No households mixing indoors or private gardens unless you're in your support bubble. Stay at home, only leave for specific reasons, including education and work. This is important, isn't it? No household mixing indoors or private gardens unless you're in your support bubble. It's down to you to determine what your support bubble is. Especially children with foster parents, but that who've grown up, they moved out. Where are they allowed to go back to their foster parents' house? Is that their support bubble? You need to know. It is your support bubble, but are they going to allow you to go back into their home? As long as you're keeping safety measures, not mixing, drinking, going into let's go to a friend's small party, but it's not saying anything. They're not going to want you in their house. They're not going to want to obtain that sort of atmosphere in their house, are they? So you got to think outside the box. Be preserved in yourself. Be preserved in yourself. Be observant what others are doing before you walk into their house as well. That's all I say. Be safety, not sorry. Schools and universities and colleges remain open. Outdoor recreation encouraged. You can meet one person outside your household. In addition to the extension of the furlough scheme, the Prime Minister said a further 1.1 billion will be made available to local authorities to support business, with 2 billion for the devoted nations. He said the government will also put 15 million towards the scheme to help provide accommodation for rough sleepers during the pandemic. This money is part of the fund and previously announced by the government to tackle homelessness. Mr. Johnson said that by September, this government had supported more than 29,000 vulnerable people, with 2/3 now moved into settled accommodation. I've got lovely leisure, ladies and gents. I've got a phone call. Thank you. God bless. It's been absolutely emotional. Thank you for supporting the show.